So I was just asked Charles, how'd you make these slides? I was like, well, I went to ChatGPT. I dumped it a whole bunch of different ways that I'm using ChatGPT. What are 7 ways? It created slides here. And then what I did is I put it into a tool called Gamma, where you can paste in text for slides. And AI made actually all these slides that I presented to you. He got up and 2 minutes later, I made all these slides, including images from here using AI. So it's allow you to take your information that you already know that you customized and make the ideation and the presentation a lot faster, but you still need your brain to guide AI. If you're tired of spending your time manually going through Microsoft Excel, doing client analysis, and you're wondering, how can I offer fractional CFO services or even do my bookkeeping or doing a job better? Let me show you a whole bunch of different ways that you can use AI to do your work a hell of a lot faster and navigate some of the things that we absolutely hate. So you might be familiar with this income statement here that we look at. Sometimes analyzing it can take a fair amount of time. So I want to show you 7 different ways ChatGPT can transform your workflows and what you're doing. So the first thing is, you ever have clients that send you, say, a photo in WhatsApp or Slack or email or a PDF financials, and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I even supposed to do to go through with this? What, I'm going to type them all by hand? God forbid you have a client that's a little behind on technology and they send you a scanned PDF, right? Or a printout of a scan of a PDF. And you're like, oh, how am I going to enter this into the tax return or whatever else? You can actually take that PDF, make sure you remove the client's name, screenshot it, put it into ChatGPT, and it'll spit back out in Microsoft Excel all the information that's there. And it puts the numbers automatically, it fixes the formatting issues, it fixes the dates, right? Instead of the dates, if you try and put 10 out of 10, it immediately goes to October. It fixes all of that and removes the garbage text, and especially sometimes it's not really legible. So highly recommend that, as you can take pictures and PDFs and turn them straight into Microsoft Excel. The next thing you can do is, sometimes you get a really big data dump. Say you're doing analysis for a client and you get like a sales report by day or an inventory report, and trying to add them up or do whatever else, especially if it's messy, can take a lot of time. You can actually dump that into ChatGPT. It'll restructure the columns. It'll standardize the meaning of everything so it'll make sense. And it'll fix some inconsistencies and highlight some errors, and you can ask it to do it. And it's as simple as taking on Microsoft Excel, dragging to ChatGPT, and giving a couple quick instructions. The next thing you can do is you can get it to build complex formulas. So on occasion, I'll forget how some formulas work, right? If I'm doing nested sum ifs or an index match or even XLOOKUP, which is relatively new, I can go in and I can get ChatGPT to create some complex formulas automatically. You can have it help you build things like rolling 12 months forecasts or an index match or margin breakdown. But if you're doing really complicated formulas or analysis, ChatGPT makes it 100 times easier. Now, the next thing is when we talk about how to analyze big data in a minute. The other day, I wanted to sit through and I wanted to see, out of all the customers I've ever worked with, how long did they stay with me? What months did they join? And if they bought something else from me, when did they buy it? So I wanted to look at a customer lifetime value by cohort, by entry product. And now that's a complicated analysis that would normally take me a couple hours to do, especially because we have a lot of customers. They come in different points, or different years, or different intro products. All I did is upload a dump of every transaction we've ever had, put it in ChatGPT, and 2 minutes later, I had how valuable each customer was by the month that they joined, segmented by the product that they bought. And so I was able to do a very significant high level of revenue analysis, so I could figure out which is the best product for customers to join, which price points do they want, and if they buy this, what is the next thing that they will buy and how long does it take? And so that has been really helpful. You can analyze big data in just a couple minutes with ChatGPT. Years ago, it used to hallucinate. Now, it does a fantastic job, but you kind of have to prompt it a little bit. The next thing is, you can take the information, like an income statement, balance sheet, statement of cash flows, clear your client's name from it, dump it into ChatGPT and say, hey, I need board-ready summarization or presentation, right? I need slides for a presentation. You can get it to put it in there, and it'll call out different KPIs or variance explanations, and even recommendations what to move forward. Now, it's more helpful if you have it trained on the right AI, because AI is good, but what it's trained on is even better. And so we have a whole certification program that shows you how to use AI, how to train it better, and even we had to have our own AI agent that we use that's trained on its own material, so it's put through a better lens. That's one of the things that we do for one of our clients inside of Profit Search Group here. But it can be really helpful here. You can also help it build you financial models. When you're looking for financial models, it's not good for the final touches, but it's good for building out the structure. So it's like if you have a big boat, right? It's really good for helping you build the whole of the boat. But if you're looking for the furnishings inside the kitchen of the boat, those you still got to do by hand. But building out the frame of the boat, like a 3-statement model or cash runway or scenario planning, The frame of the model, ChatGPT can be really good if it's trained with the right agents, which we haven't created some of our own agents to do so. But it allows you to go a whole lot further. You can automate a lot of the reporting, client delivery, right? You can upload things and say, hey, on a daily basis, send me what's happening with ChatGPT if you connect it into QuickBooks, like with my clients here. The results, if you implement AI in your firm, you're going to be able to get work done so much faster that you're going to spend more time serving clients and getting clients and less time like doing the work. You're going to be able to earn significantly more because you're going to have a larger value per client here. So what I recommend is instead of putting you in the doer role, we want you to stay in the client advisor role, because when you're in the advisor role, you're able to earn significantly more while working less. So you can spend way more time with your family instead of less time sitting there in Excel like a spreadsheet monkey like I've done for most of my career. So my recommendation to you, out of all the AIs that you can get, I highly recommend you get into ChatGPT, you start feeding it customer information after you've cleared their personal information off of it, and start playing with it. It can be so powerful. One of the things I even recommend you do is you ask it how to use it, which is crazy. You can even talk to it if you don't want to type. So we've created a whole bunch of trainings on how to use AI in your firm, how to grow your firm using AI, how to move over to the fractional CFO role. If you're interested in that, all you got to do is check us out at profitsurgegroup.com. I'll see you guys on the next one. Okay. So I was just asked Charles, how'd you make these slides? I was like, well, I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, I was like, hey, I use ChatGPT in all these ways. So I'll pull up ChatGPT here. New tab. All right. So I dumped it a whole bunch of different ways that I'm using ChatGPT. What are 7 ways? Some of the ways that it recommended are things that I do not use. So it was like, make it for these sorts of things that I currently do. It created slides here. And I added in more things that I actually do now in my firm. I didn't want to give you a whole bunch of recommendations I actually do. And then I had them combine the 2 different ones. And then what I did is I put it into a tool called Gamma, where you can paste in text for slides. And AI made actually all these slides that I presented to you. Well, he was asking me, he's like, we were talking through it. He got up and 2 minutes later, I made all these slides, including images from here using AI. So it's allow you to take your information that you already know that you customized and make the ideation and the presentation a lot faster, but you still need your brain to guide AI.